I have a problem. Every time I try to draw a figure, I end up with this very interesting pose that some people call a stick figure. I know, it's pretty good for a stick figure, but it's still boring and it's not dynamic. So I've been looking to steal some stuff from a bunch of artists, and I got really inspired by this amazing artist called Lotus Bubble. She does these beautiful dynamic figures, different angles, and I was like, I want that. And I really like how she has this variety where there's just portraits, half figures, full figures, and then I stumbled upon these beautiful fashion references where you see the same outfit but in a different pose. So I was like, wait, what if I get rid of the stick figures by combining these two stuff? Boom! So I'm gonna attempt to draw the same character with the same outfit in 3 different dynamic poses. And a big thing that Lotus Bubble does is that she's actually always making her figures more dynamic by pushing the angles. So if you look at this one, it feels like we're actually above her and we're looking down on her. Yeah, that's right, you a peasant when we're looking down on you. While in this one, it's actually above us and we're really looking up at her. So you never really see Lotus just drawing a regular front-facing character standing in a T-pose, because that's just not dynamic. And what's even crazier is that she does that with portraits as well. Let me show you something. You ever stand up real close to the camera
And it makes your head all warped up.
well, if you stand really far away from the camera, even if it zooms in, it feels a lot more flat. There's no warping happening.
This just looks dynamic.
If you look at his head, it feels like it's a bit distorted. And you can see how the bottom part of the face feels like it's warping in here, while this top part of the head is actually warping up. And that's basically just distortion. And I've lately just been obsessed with drawing this distorted angles and fisheye lenses. I even tried it out on a portrait, and somebody said, okay, the level of talent in this piece isn't the same level as we saw normally. What the fuck? And you better not think you can come up with all of these beautiful poses from imagination. So instead of just these standard poses that most artists go for, I would really go for more dynamic references. Like, yeah, she looks like she has a cool outfit, but if we just break down the pose, there's nothing really dynamic that's actually happening in there, because we don't really get to see any different sides of the body. While with this one, we can really show how the head is actually warping up, while the body in here is warping down. So even if you just sketch this with like basic shapes, you can really start seeing how dynamic poses like these are. In here, you can see how the shoulders are facing one side, while the bottom part of the body is facing in another direction. So back to our drawing, I'm imagining one full figure in here, some type of a half figure somewhere over here, and a zoomed in portrait somewhere down here. So I just go to Pinterest, type in fisheye lens, then find one cool pose, and then look at all the recommended ones below it. So I'm just gonna try out a few of these and see which one I actually like. I really like this pose because we can show all 3 sides of the head, the shoulders, we see the 3 sides of the torso beautifully, then you got that ass on the back, and the legs are going away from us and they're becoming thinner and thinner. And even with the arms, I'm thinking about the warping, and I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with these hands, but we'll figure it out later. So if she was sitting in one big box, this is what it would look like. This sitting pose is kind of cool. Once again, we're actually above her, and the same distortion applies as this one. And you see, I'm not thinking about any clothes. It's literally about, is this pose actually looking dynamic in 3D? I really like these 2 poses. Now all we need is just one portrait down here. I don't want it to be just like a regular 3/4 just looking straight into the camera, because it won't really fit with all of the other dynamic poses. So even the portrait itself, we could really push it and have another view where we're looking down on it. So I don't even want to think that much deeply about the features, just the most important parts of the face. So these are the 3 poses we got so far. I kind of like the composition. By the way, if you're wondering how to draw figures and faces using this method, I have tutorials explaining you how it works step by step so you can improve your character drawing. All you have to do is click the link in the description, enter your email for free, and watch it now. Now it's time to actually start thinking about the features, making her look like an actual human instead of this wooden chair type of thing. And at this point, we're gonna have to start thinking more about what the actual character is going to look like. I kind of like this reference in the middle. Like, the clothes are really cool. There's all these pink and black. She's talking on this old ass phone. That's kind of a vibe. I like the haircut as well. I'm just gonna try to draw this outfit for all 3 of the different poses. I kind of like her having glasses though. What if we actually add them? I feel like it adds to the whole character. Ooh, and what if she got like glasses over here as well? And I feel like the pose would look more interesting if both of her arms are actually extended. And what if she's doing like this sassy thing where you're like bringing your glasses down and you're looking over, like, oh, very sexy. She got these like vests as if she's like a truck driver. One thing that really helps me for the dynamic feel of the leg is really thinking about this lighting. So I'm not just drawing the leg like this and then below it you have the calf, but I'm actually pushing the calf out while the top part of the leg is coming forward. So you really have that thunder. So this is how it looks with the basic features, and as you guessed it, it looks pretty basic. So I feel like she's lacking personality. I usually like to imagine what the character is feeling, like what are they like? And I'm imagining our character like real sassy. Like she got the glasses, she got the butt, so she needs a more sassy expression. I want her to go from looking like a teacher to looking like an OnlyFans model cosplaying a teacher. I think the secret that we're looking for is in the eye roll. Such a beautiful expression of you wanting to smack somebody. So I gathered all these references of just pissed off teenage girls. Boo, you a whore. Now that's the vibes that we want for our character. I'm not sure what expression I should give her. The classic eye roll or the bitch, what you say? I think this old ass phone is like such a cool piece of the character. So what if we have it in here as well? I might have to do a whole ass tutorial about drawing hands. We just need for me to actually learn how to do it first. Hold up, I actually got a special model for us right here. Gotta get that open mouth. You know she gotta have a choker. We add the eyeglasses in there as well. We gotta get more references for these hands. Thank God we got an amazing model working around the clock. So when I'm working on a hand like this, I always like to think about the palm first with this little cube shape, making sure that I'm showing all three different sides. And then I'm attaching this little cylinders for the fingers, thinking about these wrapping lines in here because they're showing the direction. It also really helps to think about where the knuckles are. So I usually start with these big shapes just to map out where the palm and where the fingers are going to be. Then fade that away and now start thinking about the actual planes and attaching more individual fingers. You know what I'm really afraid of? That people are going to just see my drawing of hands. They're going to just say it's AI. These are usually the rough sketches that I do to figure out the pose, the design of the character, the clothes, her attitude. So now I'm just going to spend some time refining each of the sketches individually. So this is what the sketches look like after some refining. You can see that there's already some shadows in there because I'm already thinking about how the lighting is going to be affecting these sketches. But they're still pretty rough, like these fishnets that look like weird barbed wire around the leg. But I feel like this type of a style doesn't really have that much detail. So let's try out some colors and lighting. And I really like the color palette of this reference, with pink being in the dress, in the hair. Then the skin is this beautiful peachy color. And then we have the phone being this sort of desaturated yellow color. And of course there's black in the fishnets and in the shirt. I feel like that's a really good color palette to get started with, and then we'll see how it gets affected with the different colors for all the lights and the shadows. So we got all the base colors in here, and you can see that I'm using as little colors as possible. I'm using the same black for the eyelashes as I'm doing with the vest or whatever the fuck this shit is. We got the white of the eyeball being the same white as the color of the teeth. And now I gotta figure out the lighting. I feel like if they all have the same lighting, it would just look boring. One thing that I love about Lotus Bubble is she has different lighting in the different characters. So what will happen if this whole left one is just in this blue lighting? So I'm just using different layer modes like multiply and screen just to test out how the lighting would look. Ooh, damn, this actually looks kind of good. And what if this portrait down here is this cast shadow lighting that we see in this artwork right here, stealing not only the idea for the drawing but the lighting as well. And then in the shadow you would see all of this purple light coming from, I don't know where it would be coming from, but it's kind of cool. And then the hair will catch all this purple light as well, starting to look a little bit too much like a rainbow. Not that I don't like rainbows. And what if for the third one we have this purple light that's actually coming from the side, just like how we see in here? Damn, Angel, you're gonna come up with something creative by yourself? I can. just not right now. So this is how the simple colors look, and this is how it looks after adding some details in the lights and shadows. I have a whole tutorial on how to pick colors and add details, so you can just watch that. So these are the 3 dynamic poses that I drew by studying the artist Lotus Bubble, and you let me know in the comments which artist you want me to study next. I really hope this video helps you with your beautiful stick figures.
Warping.